Okay, Earth signs, welcome back in. This is your bonus reading. So I'm going to pull individual cards for each zodiac sign. So Virgo, Capricorn, and Taurus. Okay. So we'll go a little deeper for each of the individual zodiac signs. This is going to be an extended of the general earth sign reading that I posted before this, so make sure and take a look at the general one if you did not watch that first. So I'm going to start with Virgos here. So let's see, this is Virgos for July. This is a big month, so let's see what needs to come out for Virgos. Sylph, creation. Grasshopper, gathering, and I'm going to pull one more here. Sacred healer, cedar. So there's something that you're kind of, I almost feel like, yes, the gathering, the grasshopper, there's something you're acquiring that's helping you to heal right now. It could be information, wisdom, it could be gathering, a gathering of people. But there's definitely a focus here on sacred healing this month. And I'm getting with the cedar, I'm getting ancestry, ancestors, family, healing of the unit, healing of ancestral trauma that has passed. I'm going to actually pull up this creation card and read it for you quick. Let's see. Well, actually, it's Sylph. Okay. So the guidance of this card: when the wind ruffles your hair or brushes against your skin, remember that this wind is as old as time. The air is made of stardust and ancient voices and memories carried on the breeze. Each self is a part of a great whole, the wind, and together they can create destruction or peace and beautiful music. Humans can also create peace, beauty, and understanding together, or they can create destruction and fear and loss. Okay, so choose to create peace and love in your personal life in the world. So this is what I'm picking up is for Virgos, this is a pivotal conscious decision point. And it's not about a big decision about the external world, like, oh, should I take a new job? Or, this is about really internally, what do I choose for my path ahead? What timeline am I wanting to align with and get on right now? Because basically even though there can be multiple timelines, there's basically, on an overarching level, there's two. There is really the path of the new reality, and there's a path of continuing the same old, which is the path that's going to continue to create suffering, destruction, and, unconsciousness. And it's like, again, that in being conscious in every choice, in every moment of what am I choosing? Am I choosing to be angry, impatient? Am I choosing to get frustrated? Am I choosing to react? Or am I choosing to continue to not choose myself, abandon myself? Am I choosing to give and think of everyone else? Or am I going to choose to also think of my needs and desires? And am I going to start to put my foot down and say, no, I need change, and I expect change in certain situations in my life that either are toxic or if there's disharmony, or if there's people around you that don't respect you, are also in disharmony. So this is about that pivot point in the gathering of, let's see, I'll say quick. This grasshopper says, when you join like-minded beings, you can create great and sweeping change. So this is about joining together with other like-minded people. So this is a time for you to start choosing who you spend your time with, what relationships are in your life, and making bigger choices about that, because that is what's going to help you heal. Okay? So I went a little more extended for you Virgos, but Let's pull a couple tarot cards as well. Five of Pentacles. Yeah, so there's definitely been some energy, a lack energy, a focus on what you don't have, focusing too much on, oh my God, I don't have this, or there's not enough, which can also fuel your impatience or disconnection or how you respond. We have the High Priestess. Yes, so you're becoming more in tune with these aspects of yourself and these belief systems and these patterns. So July is going to be a major month of really gaining perspective, of aligning, getting messages from your higher self, and like really seeing things that maybe you kind of knew, but you're really like, oh my God, I'm like, they're being really put in your face. And it's all around these oracle cards of, it's time to choose, because July is a choice point to where, like, are you going to get on this train or that train? Four of Wands. So this could be tied to family, relationships. It could also be tied to your sense of security and stability in life. And is it this unconscious, just you always don't feel secure and stable with what you have? And this could be money. This could be in relationships. So you tend to hold on to relationships. Again, that's going to be different for each one of you. So it's like, what are the underlying beliefs and behavior patterns that tie you to things externally based on this insecurity, based on lack, based on, oh my God, I need the external world to basically create stability for you, but I feel like all these things that you're doing are actually creating the opposite effect. Five of Cups. Yeah, more of this. So this is also tied to emotional disharmony. This could be tied to some trauma in your past, a big loss. This could be you're going through some sort of loss or depression or some sort of difficult period. Or this could just be the underlying things that have really just are always, you know, it's your default. And it's what drives you to how you show up in the world, how you interact with the world and your belief systems. The Lovers, there's another choice point, but this could also be referring to a focus on relationships. And then Four of Swords. Yeah, more healing. 4-4. And also these two fours, the fours create stability as well. And it's next to this healing card. So there's a huge healing piece. And I feel like Virgos, we've been talking about this forever for you. There's these really underlying belief systems that have really just been so deep and strong that that you've really been trying to work with. And it's almost like I feel like for Virgos, it's really hard because Virgos are very external focused and like, you know, the earth, and are into the details and how things look on the outside. And is the outside balanced? Is the outside harmonious? But it's about coming back internally within yourself. That's kind of the shift for you. And it's getting comfortable there and really looking at those parts of yourself. And like being really observant and objective about how your emotional world internally. And is it harmonious? And it's about, you know, creating peace and love and, you know, harmony and joy in your life. And it being consistent. Okay, Virgos? So I went a little longer for you guys, but you're welcome. I guess you needed all those messages. All right, let's move on to Capricorns. Capricorns for July. What do Capricorns need to hear? Deliberation. That's been coming out. I can't remember if that came out for your general reading, but grounded. Okay. Yep, that's very earthy of you. And then planning. Okay, so you're really in this figuring something out, planning, deliberating. How do I move forward? How's this? Maybe you're figuring out a change in your life, or there's definitely something here where I feel like your goal right now is grounding. Like, how do I ground my life and get more stable? And maybe even like, how do I create something more in my life, like abundance or peace or whatever it is. But there's definitely something you're planning and sitting on to figure out what the plan is. How do I get from here to there? Or what am I going to do the second half of the year? There's something really that you are trying to figure out there. All right, let's pull some tarot. There's very, very earthy energy coming out for at least Virgos and Capricorns. So this is about really connecting to what your strengths are, but also being faced with looking at the areas that you're not as strong in, which is, again, like going inward, going into your emotional body, thinking. All right, we have the Nine of Wands. Strength. Okay, there's a situation, definitely, this is calling out. There's a situation that has been challenging. Maybe you're contemplating giving up on something or deciding, okay, I'm not doing this anymore, or, maybe you're going to close a project or a business, or like leaving a job. It could be anything like that, but there's definitely some fear, because what's needed here is the confidence. And really that's all that's needed, because you can really make any decision and trust the future and trust that it's going to work out. Especially if, and you're a situation that you're like, I'm over it, I'm over this, or I'm realizing like, yeah, this is too much work and effort, and I'm not getting back anything from it. And then the High Priestess. So Virgo's got that as well. Yeah, this is a month of major spiritual awareness, enlightenment, gaining a new, connecting better with your truth, with your intuition here. And this is coming in and going to really help you fuel your confidence and any sort of strength you need to kind of make some big decisions and plan, right? Especially if you're going to leave something. Okay, what's next after that? And like, what do I need to think of? I'd be a little careful of too much future planning, like too far planning, because we're in this, this like energy, I don't know what even to call it. What I'm seeing a vision of like these energy spirals, and we're in the middle of it. And it's like, there's so much that's going to happen even in the next couple weeks, that like by the end of the summer, I think things are going to look a lot different. So I think if you're trying to figure it out now, like by then anyways, things are going to be all, it's almost like the cards are going to get thrown again, to where I just feel like we cannot, no concrete that everything's going to flow exactly how we think it is, especially through the end of August. All right, Capricorns. All right. Moving on to Tauruses. Yeah, Taurus. Last but not least, Tauruses for July. Okay. Embracing. And right away I heard embracing change. So there is change in the wind for you Tauruses here. And it's almost like it's coming, and you're just kind of like waiting and kind of embracing how it unfolds right now. Diligence. There's some factors you need to think of, like the diligence of do your due diligence in the meantime, of kind of, crossing your T's and dotting your I's. Like I said for if you didn't listen, but I said this for Capricorns too, like, you cannot know, you can't, and earth signs are very about that, right? It's like, okay, I need to make sure there's a plan, and I have my checklist, and I cover everything and cover all the details, but it's just doing what you need to do in each now moment. Okay? Don't focus too much on the future. Don't plan too far in advance right now, because things are going to really rapidly change, and we cannot, just what we know right now, it's going to be something different, you know, even by the end of July and then by the end of August. And focus, yeah. It's just, really, I'm just getting for Tauruses, just be in the moment right now, do what you got to do in the now, and things are just going to unfold and just work out. You don't need to be too, you know, like worried about how is this all going to work, what's going to happen afterwards type thing. Interesting. There's a similar vibe for all of the earth sign individual readings, but we have the Queen of Pentacles, Three of Wands, and the Ten of Cups. Love this for you. Yeah, there's like kind of a waiting period. And you're kind of waiting to see what's next. I think you're going towards things more that fulfill you. The Ten of Cups here. And you're kind of like, okay, you're making some decisions and changes upon you are coming. And you're kind of just waiting to see how this unfolds. But you're definitely focused on doing things that are more in line with, you know, your heart space, your dreams, and like what's going to be happy for you moving forward. I do feel like you are the Queen of Pentacles showing up here. So you are really working on, how do I build, you know, this is about you building a life that's solid and that you are happy about, that nurtures you. And you're doing something yourself here. You're really building abundance here in your life, and you're doing you. Taurus, you're kind of doing you right now, and you're like, you know, I'm open to change. I'm surrendering. I'm you know, doing things to try and make, to create different things in my life. Okay, Tauruses, hopefully that helps. And for all of you earth signs, thanks for joining in, guys. And again, enjoy your July. Stay safe, and just, you know, it's been intense out there, but you know, it's been kind of a interesting, there's been a lot of positive things with the energies, especially if you are kind of more awakened. I feel like you're kind of like, we're starting to feel the vibe of the new earth more, where, you know, there's others that might still be in that phase of, you know, things are upending. There's a lot of internal chaos coming up because there's still layers that they're releasing here. So wherever you are, in whatever level, it's totally fine. You're exactly where you need to be. All right, everyone. I'll see you in the next reading.